Morning guys, what's up? Gonna be doing some dead hangs, a few sets of squats, and we'll get in some dips. Whew. All right, I set my number for 20 at the dips. We'll see if that holds up. So I just did a minute hang, and I'm gonna go down, excuse me, by 10-second increments. Same thing with the squats. I did 50, and I'll go down 40, 30, 20, 10. The dips, I'll try and keep it 20 each set. I'll try, we'll see. So the other day, I did a video, and I made a remark in the video about how it's not natural for us to be walking around at 2, 3, 4, and even more than that pounds. And you know, I think that's really true. One of our subscribers, John's been with me since the beginning. Appreciate that, John. So he left a message, he left a comment saying he'd basically like to see me do a video talking about that subject. You know, about the people being overweight. He says he has a friend or friends that think they're healthy and they're 5'10", 230 pounds. Well, I can't say that 5'10", 230 is inherently unhealthy. If that's a male, if that's a guy he's talking about, it could very well be a pretty healthy person. You would have to look at his body type. You would have to look at his lean muscle, his lean body mass as compared to his body fat and things like that. But when we're talking, say, a woman that's 200 pounds, I don't think that there's many women on this planet that should be walking around at 200 pounds unless you're 6'6" and you were genetically gifted with a good amount of muscle mass. But it's extremely common to see women that are 5 foot nothing at all, 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", and they're upwards of 300 pounds. It's extremely common. You know, as you say to me, well, how do you know that? Well, it's because I'm out in public pretty much every day, and I see it pretty much every day. And the same thing with men. Not very many men on this planet should be walking around at 300 pounds. Again, if you're genetically gifted with a good amount of muscle mass and you have a large body type, and you're relatively tall. But if you see a guy walking around at 5'8", 5'9", and he's 300 some odd pounds, there's a 99.999% chance that that's very unhealthy weight. I'm going to do a 50-second hang. Okay, we got 40 squats. Squats. So again, I'm going to try and stick with 20 dips. So I also did a video the other day. I'll put a link in the description. But you'll notice in the thumbnail, I had a picture of myself from some years back. And it wasn't a flattering picture. So I'm about 6 foot tall. And in that picture, in that thumbnail, I was probably pushing 230, which was not a good weight for me. Right now I'm probably sitting, either side of 190. And years back, I was 21 when I graduated the police academy. And I went through, I think it was like 4 months of training. And it was pretty rigorous back then with the physical standards and all. But I was always a lean kid into my teens and my early 20s. Around that time, I went into the academy at 177 pounds. And we progressed, with the PT and all. Towards the end, we were doing 5 miles a day, a lot of calisthenics. A lot of good physical training, and I lost 3 pounds in 4 months. So I really didn't have it to lose. I was that lean at the time. So, if I had lived my life and just not, if I would have just eaten healthy to maintain myself, I'm really probably a 175 pound guy in a 6 foot tall frame. So again, if you're 5'6", 5'8", 5'10", even if you're 6'3", and you're walking around at, over 300 pounds or anywhere near 300 pounds, unless you're taking a massive amount of drugs, and working out and things like that. And, all you have to do is look at some of these bodybuilders, almost all of the bodybuilders, once they retire or they're not competing anymore, and they lay off the needles, they look like mere mortals, and a lot of them don't even look like they're in any kind of shape. But if you were to see pictures of them, in their heyday when they were on stage in a competition, I mean, they look like they were put together with a blowtorch. They look like, somebody drew them like from an anime cartoon or something. So, again, those drugs, that's a personal choice. And if you're going to do that, it's their body. They can do what they want. If that's how they want to make a living, But for guys like us that are just looking to stay healthy, and I mean, all you can do is just eat as well as you can. Do whatever type of exercise you find enjoyable, you feel you're getting a benefit from, you think is sustainable, and do that. And just stay at your genetic potential, stay where you're supposed to be. That's what you were born to be. You just have to embrace it and live with it, you know. But everybody, you know, almost any, you know, young guy, that 18 to 30 something demographic, you know, even a lot of guys my age, pushing 60, all they talk about is how big they want to be. I want to be big, I want to be big. And of course that's part of it. Like I say, you know, a little bit of it is vanity. You want to look big, you want to look strong. But all that aside, the real reason for all of it is for longevity and for health. That's the real reason. You know, all these other things could motivate you, but at the end of the day, it's about keeping yourself as healthy as possible for as long as possible. I got 40 seconds now on the bar. Uh, 30 on squats. Try another 20 on the dips. All right. So, the other thing I want to touch on too is so I started YouTube probably about 1.5 years ago, and I never realized that I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, as much as I do. I made a lot of friends, met a lot of great people, interacting just back and forth with a lot of good people. But there's always that faction. And to be honest with you, I've been very lucky. If you want to call them haters, if that's the term you want to use. You know, I've had my fair share of, you know, snide remarks, comments, but that goes with the territory. But it really, what gets me about the whole thing, and I watch a lot of other channels, a lot of people in the fitness space, and again, the people that I associate with have channels, and a lot of times you'll see these remarks and they're ridiculous remarks, you know. But I can't think of a time, out of all the negative remarks I've seen, again, not only with myself, but other channels, it's never somebody who has, first of all, they don't have a legitimate picture. They don't post any content. So it's somebody that's basically, you know, what's the term? I think it was, what do they call it? Keyboard warrior. There's somebody who's brave sitting in their basement or in their bedroom and just typing away. And they'll always try to, you know, shoot some snide comment, and it's always somebody that seems to be doing well, or at least trying, right? I'm gonna do a 30-second hang. Hold that thought. Twenty squats. You seem tough today. So where was I? Okay, so even if it's somebody that's not far along and they post something, but the person's trying. They're trying to better themselves. They're showing us, they're putting themselves out there. You know, I'm not the greatest in the world, but this is what I'm doing. Because there's so many people that aren't doing it. If they are doing it, they're certainly afraid of having somebody see them do it for fear of being judged. And then you'll have these people that'll, again, shoot their stupid remarks. That's not the way to do it. Hashtag leg day. You know, your form sucks. It's just on and on and on, right? Why would you attempt to diminish somebody else's, somebody who's trying to better themselves in any way, whether it's exercise or, you know, just trying to do any type of self-improvement or just put something positive? Why do you have to take the time to sit and type that and say, you suck, that's no good, you're no good, what you're doing isn't right? And really the only thing I could come up with is that your self-esteem is so low, you are so insecure, so unsure of yourself, have cowardly tendencies, that you'll sit behind an anonymous computer. And again, if you're somebody who's looking to help somebody and say, hey buddy, you know, I noticed you're doing that and your form is a little off, you know, I'm afraid you might hurt yourself. Here's a link to my video. This is how I do it. Maybe you want to try that, right? But I don't ever remember seeing that. I don't ever remember seeing some criticism and then you suck. Come look at me because I'm doing it so well. And I do it, you know, here's the link to my whatever social media, and this, I'll show you how to do it. This is how I'm doing it. See, because I post it for everybody to see. I've never seen that. Never seen it once. Because of, and I believe for the reasons that I said, that these people, their self-esteem is so low and the insecurity and it runs the gamut. They get some satisfaction out of that. They make themselves feel better for that brief moment, right? For those 10 seconds that it takes to write that. They're sitting behind the thing, behind the screen, so proud of themselves because they just did that. They sent, and then they hit send, and they're like, "I told him I'm better than him." Meanwhile, you know you're not. You know you're not, because if you were that good, like I said, you'd be trying to help people, and you'd be showing your stuff. Show your stuff off. You don't even put a picture. You don't even put a picture that big of yourself. But you have the balls to go criticize other people. 20-second hang. Ten squats. I think it's, yeah, 10. I don't know if I screwed that count up, guys. But yeah, so that's it. You know, they get that quick little hit. I feel good about myself. But at the end of the day, once you do that, and a guy like that is probably all over the internet, constantly sending messages like that, leaving comments like that. But bottom line is, whenever he or she, or they or them, choose your pronoun, at the end of the day, when it's time to shut things down, they sit there and they know that they are who they are, and they're back to that insecurity and the self-esteem. So rather than doing something positive and trying to help other people, you know what I mean? Because that's going to benefit you. It comes back to you. There's no getting around that law of you reap what you sow, cause and effect, whatever you want to call it. It's real, so it's going to come back to you. I think that's it for today, guys. I'm going to head out. Appreciate you guys watching. Everybody go have a good weekend. And talk to everybody in the next one. Have a good day. Thanks, guys.